Scorpio, welcome to your August 2019 Love and General reading. I'm Gemstone Tarot. This is Valentine the cat, who is grumpy and hot at the moment. Oh, sweetheart. And just trying to find the best way of elongating herself. Okay, Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Sun, moon and rising, or cross watchers, or anybody else who's here. I'm going to use the Rider-Waite. Going to see what's up for Scorpio. Over the last few months, I would say, there's been a bit of a truth-telling mission, a fact-finding mission, the need for something to be revealed. I know we've talked about that quite a lot, and that card is for you. Oh, yes. I tell you what, Scorp, as I say it, that there's a bit of a fact-finding mission, a truth to be revealed, I literally pulled out the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is the unbuttered, unvarnished, unsugared truth, okay? It's just, you know, there's the crown, that's like the crown chakra of knowing, not thinking, but knowing. Like that, straight up the crown chakra, as they say. That is no doubt. You're going to be left in no doubt. Okay. Ooh, oh, wow. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Oh, God. Okay. There will be an extension to this reading and I cannot speak this month. There's an extension to this reading and you can get that in the description box. There is a link to click on. Mercury's still retrograde as I'm doing these readings, which is good in terms of getting a good reading, as in really channeling. But in terms of logistics, super tricky. Everything that you need to know is in the description box if you're looking for information. Yeah, I will take that card actually. Ooh, some of you are going to be a bit angry. It's like, yeah, I will take that card, King of Swords. Right. Oof. Scorpio, you have been a bit lost. You are a water sign. We do get lost. You don't get lost as much as Pisces and Cancer do. But you're still a water sign. So I know what that means. And that means that you have hidden depths and you're emotional and you feel things. Especially scorpionically feeling things. It's Pluto, it's Mars, it's at a really deep and visceral level. Okay. Seven of Cups is your overall energy card. And underneath it is the King of Cups. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is not you, I don't think. There's something, and this has come up in your last couple of months of readings. You're a Scorpio, okay? You're going to know. You're going to know for two reasons. One, emotionally you will know, or you will have known what this is already, because Pisces, Cancer and Scorpio have great intuition that is based on water, the moon, you know, what am I going to call it? I could feel it in my water, that kind of expression. So you knew and it made you feel uneasy. And some of you either went into a denial, which is what the Seven of Cups is. It'll be all right. I'm probably wrong. You know, I'm always overthinking things. I'm always accusing them of this, that and the other. Or the other person sent up a fog or a gaslight or whatever you want to call it and told you you were wrong. Or didn't even tell you were wrong. They just made you feel like you were wrong. Or they were just vague enough that you couldn't tell if you were right, wrong, or something in between. Okay? Right. Interestingly, I got two kings in this reading. I got the King of Cups over here, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or certainly the King of Feeling is probably a more accurate way to put it. And I've got the King of Swords, the King of Thinking. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if you're into the star sign of it. And I have the Queen of Swords in reverse right under the King of Cups. This is really strange. I think I'm sensing two different stories. Some of you, Scorpio, may have been involved with, and it probably is a man, you may have been involved with a man who, well, I've got this for a lot of signs this month, who was not properly free for one reason or another. I say this because it just feels like the King of Cups has this Queen of Swords right behind him. She's literally tucked right behind him. Now, when I get that and the Queen of Swords is in reverse, it usually means an ex. It could be an ex-wife, but maybe they weren't ex enough. You know, there's ex-wives and there's ex-wives in scenarios sometimes. Everyone has baggage, everyone has a history, and we all have to respect people's history. They come to us with a life, you know, and you would hope to meet people who've lived a life. But there was something a bit hidden about that scenario that you either already know or comes to light during August. Now, I would imagine it would be towards the end of the month because we move into Virgo season. And although Leo season, which we're in at the moment, is full of passion and drive, I feel like this is more to do with attention to detail, which is a Virgoan trait, okay, and a Scorpionic one. Now, for some of you, this person has been in the shadow of the Queen of Swords, and that's going to change. Either their divorce comes through, they tell this person to go, or they admit to you that they've been confused about it, and that breaks this kind of mystery, the stronghold. Now, look, we've got the Eight of Wands in reverse. I think it's come up in nearly every single reading that I've done for August, which is a bit weird. Eight of Wands in reverse is either a lack of communication or you're in separation from this person. There's no communication. Maybe you instigated that, maybe they instigated that. Maybe you sort of both instigated that with the Five of Swords, which is my silent fury, you know, my kind of where you're having a bit of a standoff with somebody. That made my neck really tense, so maybe you've had headaches over this. Okay, the Eight of Wands in reverse is the no contact, it's Mercury retrograde. This could be for the whole of what happened in July, but also Mercury was retrograde in February, and I'm feeling for a lot of signs this month, Scorpio, that the retrograde we have now goes back to the retrograde we had in early February, and I can't remember when it was. I think it was beginning of March, I think. Let me just check it. That's 2020, 2019. Good old moon diary. It would help if I actually looked in March. Yeah, Mercury went retrograde on the 5th of March, and we had a new moon in your sister sign of Pisces on the 6th, on the same day that Uranus entered Taurus, which is all a bit much, to be honest. And then what I tend to find with Mercury's, and I think Mercury retrograde moved into Cancer as well, which is another sister sign of yours, is that they go back to the other Mercury retrogrades and they kind of leapfrog, and you go back to an old problem and you get more clarity, or the universe delves backwards and psh, Ace of Swords gives you that clarity, okay? Right. There was a lack of talking, a lack of contact, a lack of knowledge, a lack of information. Knight of Wands in reverse, a situation had lost its momentum, it may have lost its passion. You may have been with this person but stopped sleeping with them, or, you know, just gradually removed your affections because you couldn't live in this environment where you didn't really know what was happening. And we also have, with the Ace of Swords in the upright, the Ace of Wands in the reverse, okay? That's what I mean about removing the passion. Now, I feel like that's probably you that have, because Scorpio is very passionate. I feel like you have removed your passion from a situation. Okay, Ace of Wands upside down. Okay. The Moon in reverse. This is essentially a Pisces card, but it's also to do with eclipses because it's the moon, new moons. I was going to say old moons. New moons, old moons, full moons. God. When the moon is in reverse, when it's in the upright, it's very Neptunian and things are shrouded, things are shadowy, you can't make out what's what and who's who. When the moon is in reverse, you suddenly come into some clarity. You drop this Seven of Cups mentality. The cloud clears, you can see exactly what you're dealing with. Okay, and I feel like what will happen then is it will be up to you to make a choice, okay? We have the Nine of Swords in reverse, which is quite honestly exactly where we want the Nine of Swords to be. When the Nine of Swords is in the upright, there's been paranoia. You've been making up your own stories about this situation, maybe talking to your friends about it, you know, because you didn't have the truth. And when we don't have the truth, our brain takes over in this kind of jibber jabber and starts producing various threads of truth, okay? Some of this, I've got the Empress in reverse, which is the mother card. This may be the mother of someone's children. You may be the mother of someone's children. It may be to do with motherhood, children, or your own mother might actually be involved in it, either directly or their mother. And that could be the Queen of Swords in reverse as well. Their mother might be right behind them. Or if you think about your own relationship with your mother in relation to what's going on with this person, okay? I often find, Scorpio, when the Empress or the Emperor come up, there are own parental experiences being lived out in relationships in the world, okay? It's exciting. Right. Then we have the Ace of Cups, cuts through all of this. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, that's interesting, cuts through everything. And then we come to the Page of Cups, the initial reaching out. This is an initial reaching out. I don't know if it's you or if it's them. I have a feeling that it's them, but it's shy and it's small. And if you think about the King of Cups, this is him when he was young. You know, it's young. It's, whoa, you know, here's my cup, it's got a fish in, do you want it? It's that kind of energy. Somebody's got a little bit of embarrassment, I would say. Someone feels embarrassed that they didn't tell you something. They feel embarrassed about what happened. Maybe you had a run-in with something, or you discovered something on social media, because the Eight of Wands in reverse is about that too, that you shouldn't have seen. Maybe you went looking for it and you found it, okay, but you think you were justified because there was a reason why you were looking. There always is, isn't there? I know, you know, there is, obviously everyone's privacy is sacred, but sometimes when you're looking for something, the better question to ask yourself is, why am I looking? What's behind this? What's making me feel insecure, okay? Sometimes, yeah, if you look at things to do with your mother, you look at upbringing, it's to do with your own insecurities. Not all of it though, sometimes. Sometimes it's because you're on the track of something. You know, you feel something is off. Sometimes we pick up body language, subliminal stuff, all kinds of things off people, and it just makes us doubt. Now, you're a water sign, Scorpio. Water sign hunches, yeah, we're not always right 100% of the time, but most of the time. But what we do as water signs is we try to ignore the hunches that we don't like, okay? So we now have the King of Cups, the King of Swords kind of available and in the upright. For just a few of you, this may be to do with you choosing between two people, It may be to do with an ex coming back into a picture when you've met someone else, or it may be dealing with someone who was Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, I'm going to look at both Kings in the extended version and the Ace of Swords and the Page of Cups. Yes. Oh, wow. Chuck Spezzano's love cards. Okay. Independence. Now they call it a problem card, but I'm not calling it a problem card. I think this person kept their life a bit separate from yours. And I think what you did, Scorpio, which Scorpios can do, is you took your bat home, as my mum says. You took your bat home, you said, okay, I'm not going to play anymore. I can be just as independent and I'll live on my own island and you live on your own island. And I think that might have woken them up a bit. Probably needed to be done. You get the healing card of communication. Yeah, there it is. Now the communication here is a telephone. These are quite 1980s, these cards. A telephone, a letter, a really big fat television, an enormous mobile phone, and something I can't even identify. It could be a carrier pigeon. It doesn't matter. Okay, how this news comes to you, it's going to come. And it looks clearing and quite good, because I don't know if I mentioned the Six of Wands, victory. Then we get the luck card, and that is really, really nice, to be honest with you. It's a dream come true. A woman dreams that a man is offering her flowers in red shorts, and then a man turns up and offers her flowers wearing red shorts. It's a what you think about, what you think persists. Apologies that my words are a bit falling over each other today, Scorpio. Mercury's retrograde still, and it's like trying to speak through mud. Okay, your oracle card, Scorpio, is Yin, which is the feminine principle of hanging back and not doing too much, which you did. Five of Swords, you withdrew from the battlefield and you went back to your island. It's good, they were expecting you to be blowing a foghorn and trying to phone them and talk to them, and you didn't. They underestimated you. Okay, I like this card. Oh, Valentine. Answered prayer. Now, what people don't always realise about Scorpio, because you are very self-controlled, you know, you are, on the surface, if people don't know you, they think you're very together, and you are very together. You do your jobs well, you're good timekeepers, often very tidy, I find, Scorpios. Appearance is usually well put together. But underneath it, there's a lot of feeling going on that people don't know about, very well hidden, okay? Something in you really yearns for this, and you've been hoping and praying for it, okay? But you haven't been begging. That's praying and not begging, and that sense of detachment has brought this about in August, okay? And I'm pleased, it's nice. So Scorpio, I'm going to flip over to the extended reading now. If you want to join me there, click the link below for Vimeo and I'll see you on the other side. Otherwise, Scorpio, do like, share and subscribe. Check out my pick a card readings. Leave me a comment and I'll see you soon. Namaste.